Hello everyone, welcome to the course on genetics. In this video we will learn about autopolyploidy. This is the first type of polyploidy in which we will learn about definition, origin and production, effects and uses of autopolyploid plants. So let us start with autopolyploidy. We know very well there are two types of polyploids, autopolyploids and allopolyploids. So we already seen polyploidy when any cell or any organism it contains more than two sets of chromosomes, then in these plants or animals they are called as polyploids. So these polyploids are again subdivided into two types. First is autopolyploids and second is allopolyploids. So autopolyploids are the organisms which contains more than two sets of chromosomes which are derived from a same parent or a single parent. But allopolyploids are the organisms which having more than two sets of chromosomes which are derived from the two different types of parents. So in this video we will learn about autopolyploids in detail, and in next video we will learn about allopolyploids. So first of all we will see autopolyploids. Autopolyploids, as auto it indicates they are the polyploids which consist of multiplied same basic set of chromosomes. So these organisms are having multiplied same. Auto means same. We can see we can take the meaning of auto here, that is same. So same basic set of chromosomes, or the definition it will be somewhat different here. So autopolyploids ploidy, it is type of euploidy wherein the additional set of chromosome is derived from a parent or identical parental species. So here we can see autopolyploidy, it also contains more than two sets of chromosomes, or we may call additional sets of chromosomes, and all these additional sets of chromosomes they are derived from the same parent or identical parental species. So such type of plants are known as autopolyploid plants. For example, you can see here, if a diploid species has two similar sets of chromosome of genome. So here you can see any diploid plant, it we know n 2n, diploid means 2n, means they contains A and A. So this is diploid genome. An autotriploid will have three similar genomes. So here you can see autotriploid because one additional A has been come here and it is as like previous genome. So there are three A will produce, and these are called as autotriploid plants. Next is autotetraploid. It will have four such genomes. So see here, four same type of genomes you can see here. So all these are the multiple copies of original genome or one type of genome only. So there is no differentiation in chromosome sets. All chromosome sets are A type. So A. So here autotetraploid it contains four genomes. Autotriploid contains three genomes and autotetraploid contains four genomes. So here you can see this is the example of autotetraploidy. Now we'll see how these autopolyploids are originated and how they can produced into the laboratory artificially. So here you can see autopolyploids, they are the organisms having more than two similar sets of chromosomes. They may occur naturally as well as artificially. Naturally, polyploidy may occur due to interference with cytokinesis or due to unreduced gametes during meiosis. So here you must remember one thing, that these R2-polyploids, they can be originated naturally as well as they can be produced into the laboratory by artificial way. Naturally, if you see these type of R2-polyploidy, it will be occur due to interference in cytokinesis. So this is very important step in cell division, last step of cell division, cytokinesis. So if this phase, that is important phase of cell division, if it get disturbed or interfered, then there will be the production of polyploids, that is R2-polyploids. Secondly, such type of R2-polyploidy, it may be resulted due to the unreduced gametes during meiosis. So here you can see gametes, they are remain unreduced, they will not reduce, and this process will take place during meiosis. So due to these two reasons, polyploidy or R2-polyploidy may be resulted or it may be occur. Now there is a very important classical example of R2-polyploidy, that is Cynodon dactylon. It is generally known as doob grass, and this is very classical example of R2-polyploid. So as like this Cynodon dactylon, scientists, they could successfully produce R2-polyploid crop plants by artificial methods. As some of these R2-polyploid plants, they will show superior characters than that of diploid organisms, so that scientists, they have done or they have took efforts to produce such type of R2-polyploid plants, R2-polyploid crop plants, the seedless varieties of watermelons, sugar beets, grapes, tomatoes, bananas, rye, corn, berseem, then marigold, snapdragon, apple. All these plants have been produced by scientists artificial, means R2-polyploid varieties of all these plants, they have been made by scientists in laboratory by artificial way. So these plants are more superior than that of common diploid plants, so they are produced by scientists. Now for the production of these R2-polyploid plants, we can use different types of chemicals, and most common chemical it is colchicine, sometimes chloral hydrate, sulfanyl amide, mercuryl chloride, hexachlorocyclohexane. All these are the chemicals we can use for the production of such type of R2-polyploid plants. R2-polyploids can be produced by physical methods also. So these are some chemical methods for the production or for the development of such type of R2-polyploid plants. Sometimes some physical methods can be used, for example by using radioactive substances like radium and X-ray, and sometimes temperature shocks will be given to the plants, and so that these plants will produce R2-polyploids. So these are the physical methods. When we apply some radioactive substances like rays as well as radium, and sometimes we have to give temperature shocks to the plant. So due to this also R2-polyploid plant will be produced. So these physical and chemical inducer interferes the mitotic and meiotic spindle fibers, and they causes non-segregation of already duplicated chromosomes during the cell division. So what actually these chemical and physical inducers will do, they will interfere the mitotic and meiotic spindle fiber production, and this spindle fiber production it get disturbed, and due to which there will be non-segregation of already duplicated chromosomes during cell division, and these chromosomes which are divided or already divided, they get assemble at one place only, because they cannot be segregated due to the lack of spindle fibers. So these are the effects of these physical and chemical inducers. Now we will see production of attopolyploid plants by colchicine. So this is very important chemical. So here we will see one case study how these attopolyploids have been produced by using colchicine. As we have seen, there are different types of chemicals, for example colchicine, chloral hydrate, etc. we can use for production of attopolyploids, but here we will see what is role of colchicine in the production of attopolyploid plants. So this colchicine, it is very important chemical which is obtained from two plants, that is Colchicum autumnale and Colchicum luteum. So these are two very important plants from which we can get colchicine. So it is very important chemical. Colchicine is an alkaloid and which can be extracted from corms of these plants. So corms, these plants produce corms, and this colchicine alkaloid we can extract from the corms of these plants. Colchicine, it prevents the formation and organization of spindle fibers, due to which chromosomes of the cell do not reach to the metaphase plate, as we have discussed. Due to this colchicine, they prevent formation and organization of spindle fibers, and due to which what happens, chromosomes of the cell which are already divided, they can't reach to the metaphase plate and remain scattered into the cytoplasm. So in this way, number of chromosomes goes on increasing due to the duplication and results into the attopolyploid cell formation. So here you can see this colchicine, it prevents the formation of spindle fibers, and due to that the chromosomes which are already produced, they remain scattered in the cytoplasm, and in this way number of chromosomes goes on increasing. So due to multiple divisions, chromosomes number it gets increased, and all these chromosomes, they will not segregate and they remains as it is scattered into the cytoplasm. So due to the duplication and result into the attopolyploid cell formation. So it contains, so unlike our haploid and diploid cells, here you can see many such or many similar type of genome or many similar type of chromosome sets you can find in attopolyploid plants. Now we will see what are the effects of attopolyploidy. So if you see in some plants, this attopolyploidy, it may cause some effects, some different effects as compared to diploid cell. So first effect we will see, attopolyploid plant produces larger plant parts like flower and fruits, etc., as compared to diploid plants. This is referred to as gigantism. So we already discussed in the previous video, that is in characteristics of polyploidy. So this attopolyploidy, it is the example of, or it is one type of polyploidy. So that here also we can see this plant or this type of attopolyploid plants, they will produce the characteristic of gigantism, means all the plant parts of such attopolyploid plants, they are larger in size, and it is referred to as gigantism. So as compared to diploid plants, they are somewhat larger. So all plant parts are larger. Next, due to increased cell size, the water content of the cell by decreasing osmotic pressure. So due to increased cell size, the water content of the cell is decreasing, and it will also decrease osmotic pressure. So you can see here, increased cell size, it will also increase water content, and this water content, they will decrease osmotic pressure, because there is more saturation of water due to increased cell size, and it will decrease the osmotic pressure of the cell. So this makes plant resistant to frost. So due to that, plant will become resistant to frost. In atopolyploid plants, a rate of cell division it lowers down, which causes reduced growth of plants. So as compared to diploid plants, the rate of cell division it is very lower, or it is very slow in atopolyploid plants, and it will cause reduced growth of plant as compared to diploid plants. Then due to reduced growth, the rate of respiration it gets affected due to decreased oxygen supply. So here, due to this reduced growth, respiration will not take place, and due to this respiration get adversely affected, oxygen supply it get decreased. Then reduced growth also prolong flowering and fruiting in these plants. So in atopolyploid plants, if you see, reduced growth is there, so it will prolong flowering and fruiting in these plants. So such type of plants, they will flowers and fruits will come to these plants somewhat later than that of diploid plants. Then in higher polyploids like octaploids, the pronounced adverse effect can be seen, which ultimately lead to the death of the plants. So sometimes what happen, if number of chromosome sets are increasing or goes on increasing in polyploids, for example you can see octaploids, so these plants may contains 8 chromosome sets, so 8 sets of chromosomes. So suppose there is a plant which having basic monoploid number 7, and if it is octaploid plant, means such type of 7 chromosome sets having 7 chromosome, if it comes 8 times it will form octaploid. So any nucleus it will contains 56 chromosomes instead of 7 or 14 normal chromosome number. So in these conditions there will be pronounced adverse effect can be seen, and ultimately the plant will become die. So these type of excess or higher polyploids may have death of the plant. Then polyploid varieties which even number, that is tetraploids, are often highly fertile, while the varieties with odd number, that is triploid, are often highly sterile. So you can see here tetraploid plants, they can fuse, or chromosomes can fuse in meiosis, and due to that these plants are highly fertile ones. So polyploids, both are polyploid, that is tetraploid as well as triploid. So both are polyploid plants, but tetraploids they are highly fertile, but these triploids are highly sterile, because these triploids have no such chromosomes present for fusion, and there will be no chromosome pairing will take place, and due to that such type of plants will remain sterile, they cannot produce seeds. So such type of polyploid varieties with even number, that is tetraploid, hexaploid, octaploid, they are often highly sterile. But some plants like triploids, pentaploids, heptaploids, all these are the highly sterile autopolyploids. Now lastly we will see what are the uses of autopolyploids. So autopolyploids are very much useful, so that scientists took lot of efforts for the production of autopolyploids into the laboratory. So triploid plants are often sterile, we know, so these are used for the production of seedless varieties of different fruits. So in today's market you can get many fruits with or many fruits without seeds. For example, watermelon, then guava, such type, or tomato. So these different types of fruit varieties, they are seedless varieties. So for the production of such seedless varieties we have to use triploidy. So this is one type of autopolyploidy. So these triploid plants, as they are highly sterile, means they can't produce seeds, and we can use that character of triploid for production of seedless varieties of watermelon, tomatoes, guava, etc. So these plants, that is triploid plants, can be produced by a cross of tetraploid and diploid plants. So such type of triploid plants into the laboratory, or if you want to produce such type of plants by breeding, we have to use two parents here. So you have to remember this, you have to use two parents. One parent should be tetraploid and second parent should be diploids. So if you use first parent tetraploid and second parent diploid, then they will give rise to triploid plants. So if you want to produce triploid plants, you have to use such type of parents. One is tetraploid and one is diploid parent. So many triploid varieties of different plants such as sugar beet, tomato, grapes, all these are seedless varieties. They have been successfully produced by plant breeders and geneticists till today. So this is very important use of Attopolyploidy and triploid plants. Now we will see tetraploid plants. So these tetraploid plants are often highly fertile. So as compared to these triploid plants, tetraploid plants are highly fertile, as we have seen in last slide, and can be produced by colchicine treatment from diploid plants. So this is the production of tetraploid plant. It is somewhat easy because here you have to give treatment of colchicine to diploid plant, and due to that colchicine treatment there will be inability to produce the spindle fibers, and chromosomes get divided but they remain scattered there, and they will produce another extra set of chromosomes. So diploid plants, it will easily give rise to tetraploid plants by colchicine treatment. So scientists till today, they produce many such varieties of corn, barley, grapes, marigold, snapdragons, lily, and so many others. So all these plants have been produced by such experiment by the treatment of colchicine. Then this is very important plant, tetraploid berseem plant. It is a popular forage crop which is very useful for domestic animal, and this is very nutritious food for the domestic animals. So this tetraploid berseem, it is very important plant which is produced by scientists, and it is very useful for the dairy business as well as for other type of domestic animals. So these are uses of Attopolyploids. So triploids are very much useful for the production of seedless varieties, and tetraploids are very much useful for the different types of high yield varieties, highly fertile varieties of corn, barley, grapes, marigold, snapdragon, lily, and so many others. So these are some uses of Attopolyploids. So in this video we have seen the definition, then origin and production, effects, and uses of Attopolyploid plants. So this is all about Attopolyploid plants. These are some references used. Thanks for your attention.